You're listening to the Country Chat Podcast with your host, Dom. Subscribe, give a 5-star rating, and follow us on Twitter at country_chat. And stay up to date.
Hi there, you listen to the Country Chat Podcast with me, Dom. Today I'm going back stateside, particularly North Carolina. Her name is Jennifer Lauren, part of Diamonds and Whiskey. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good, Tar. How are you? How's it over there?
Oh, it's great. It's sunny. Too sunny, actually. It's about 95 degrees. So you're sweating if you're outside, but it's a beautiful day in the Carolinas.
That's just magical. I mean, we've had some warm temperatures here in the UK, and it's reached like 95, 96 degrees Fahrenheit up here in the north of England, that is. And it's been really, really nice. We're so used to cold and wet and windy weather. It's just horrible.
Yeah, you guys get a lot of rain, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it must put a lot of people off from coming here.
Right. When I was there, it rained the whole time.
That is so unlucky. I mean, we do get occasional week or so in the summertime where it's nice.
Oh, gosh, bless you, though. A whole week.
So, for everybody out there, we've been trying to organise this show for the past few days, and today's been kind of hectic backwards and forwards and trying to make sure we fit in a time that basically suits you, because you've got a job on the side, obviously, because of a band's got to make money, and with all the quarantine and all the lockdowns and all the reduced work, it must be difficult.
Yeah, so I do. I have a day job, but we're also in the middle of pre-production on our album, which is also crazy busy. And because we're still releasing music like crazy, we're getting a lot of media requests. So there's a lot of interviews, a lot of podcasts. And so it's just been a crazy time altogether. But yes, today I was out actually working my day job. Since we can't play music right now, we would be on tour at this moment. But since all of that was canceled, everyone's scrambling and finding other ways to pass the time and make some money. So yep, I'm doing that as well.
Well, it's just a thing for people out there is you've got to support the artist, buy the music. Don't just stream, when you purchase a single or an album, in particular Heartbreak Queen, that money, well, the majority of it does go to the band. And obviously you've got to split it between everybody, the drummer and the guitars and the fiddle player.
Yeah, so
to a degree.
Well, this album, to a degree, yeah. So it just depends on which writers on which song, but yes, it does go to the band, and we've been so blessed with selling out of our CDs. Actually, we've mailed out so many of those, and people have ordered them, which is great. It's nice that people still order like hard copies of things instead of just downloading it.
Yeah.
'Cause that way we actually keep more of the money. So we just ordered a whole new batch. We've been really blessed with this album to be in an indie band and to, not be signed to a major label. We've gotten a lot of play and a lot of things have started to happen. So we're so grateful to our fans that have already purchased the album and streamed it as much as they have.
I mean, I love what you said a second ago there with the working on pre-production for your new album.
Yeah, so it's my goal to drop a new album every year to 18 months. So every 12 to 18 months, my plan is to drop an album. So we dropped this one last November, and our new one will be out the first quarter of next year. And it's a full album again, and it's all killer, no filler again. It's going to be amazing. And we've really stepped it up with this new album. All pro players coming in from Nashville that have played on major label X albums. Yeah. So we're really, really excited about it. It's going to be a whole different ball game. But we're really proud of Heartbreak Queen. That album really, for what it was and where it started and where it went to, I mean, I couldn't be more proud of my first album.
Now, we're here to mainly speak about your newest single, Keep On Keepin On. But I do want to stick with Heartbreak Queen for just a bit. It's your baby. It's your music that's out there in the world, and people can enjoy that now, and it gives them a bit of a taste for what they can expect coming in the future.
Yeah. So definitely we'll get to Keep On Keepin On. But Heartbreak Queen, all the songs are stories from my life, and they're the first 10 songs that I ever wrote. I didn't write like 50 songs and narrow it down. Those songs are the first 10 songs I ever wrote. So to have them on the album and see it, different songs charting in different places, and the reaction that we've gotten, Yeah, it's been an amazing album, and we're still going to release, I think, 1 or 2 more singles off of it this year. So you guys can be looking for that one, for those two. And every single we release is charted somewhere or topped plenty of charts. So we're really proud of it.
I mean, when we do a review of a single, we get like a press kit or a bio on like previous music, how the artist has done, and in your bio, it actually talks quite a lot about Muddy Water and how fantastically it's done everywhere.
Yeah, I was on a radio interview with Galaxy FM in New Zealand, and it's so funny. I had no idea that our music had been played so much there. But he was like, "Did you know that Muddy Water's been requested 37,000 times this month? Like requested on the radio." I was like, "What?" Like, I mean, I started crying because I had no idea that it was doing that well. And then it topped the Euro charts, the European Academy of Country Music, and now Sugar Sticks at number 4 on there. So, I mean, I just am blown away by the response, especially in the European countries, to our music. So we're excited to start planning trips over there next year to play.
I mean, you're kind of, I don't like labeling a band with a genre, but you're very much country rock. You're very much heavy on rock and heavy on country.
Yeah, you get a good healthy dose of rock and roll in our music, and my country, my voice lends more to country, they say, but it's a big vocal. It's more of your Winona Judd, and then kind of mixed with, you mix that with the Wilson sisters, from Heart, and like that's kind of what you get, and it's we kind of kick your face in when we're playing live. So it's crazy. It's not your traditional fiddle playing. It's something different. A lot of people call it swamp rock because it's really swampy in places. And that's my old guitarist. He's from New Orleans. And those swampy guitar riffs, it's just something different, but still mainstream enough for people to want to hear it all the time. So it's working out well for us.
It just sums it up perfectly, like swampy rock. That is, I've never heard that before until I actually read on Spotify, like the bio that is on there. I know either yourself or your publicist does that, but to read swampy rock, it's just like, yeah, that actually does really sum it up. It's really, really cool. I mean, the whole of your music is just so punchy. There's certain songs in there that just constantly beat all the way through, and then there's a couple where it's nice and mellow. There's such a wide range. It's brilliant to listen to.
Thank you, because no song is exactly the same. You've got 5 on there that rock pretty good, but then, like you said, you've got Wasted on Your Love, which is all country, all slow. Which I'll go ahead and give you a tidbit. We're gonna release a live version of that soon. That's amazing. But yeah, then 25 to Life is all traditional country. You got your slide in it, and then your slide guitar. And then you've got Hooks, which is straight blues. I mean, that's just all blues. There's nothing else in that. So the album is different throughout, but it flows really nicely all together. So, which is what I want, and you'll get that in the next album too. It's going to be a variation of different genres, so that it doesn't end up sounding like every song's the same.
Yeah. Now, you also did a cover of The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Yes. So we did, and that has done fantastic. People love it. It's I kind of put my own little spin on it and did kind of a badass chick version, and I love it. People love it. Instead of just talking through it, there's singing parts, which are really cool, and I don't know. Everyone seems to have given it a thumbs up. So I'm really, really happy about that, because it's hard to cover a song like that and get great reviews.
Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to it all day. I've been listening to all of your music literally from the moment I've woken up today at 6 a.m. to now, where it's at 20 past 8 in the evening. And it's just been, every time it's cycled through, every time The Devil Went Down to Georgia comes on, it's like I'm trying to listen to the words, trying to see how it's been twisted. It almost seems like you're speaking at one point from the devil's point of view.
Yeah, so that's how it was supposed to be interpreted. And if you watch the music video, we meant for it to be more like a dream, but where the devil was actually battling herself. So it was meant to be a little twist on the song.
Yeah, it's just so cleverly done. And because in Charlie Daniels' version, he talks as if he's fighting the devil. And in this one, it's a mixture between being the devil and then being like a third person watching the devil fighting Jenny. And
oh my gosh, I'm so glad you got that. That's so awesome.
it's just magical, really. I mean, especially with the sad news that we've recently had, it's to see that come up. It was like, oh, perfect, not perfect timing, but it felt like it fit.
Yeah, it really did. And well, I woke up to so many streams on that song after that day, and I was so sad. So I was glad that we could that we had that version out already. So
yeah,
because I'm a big Charlie Daniels fan, so I was really happy that we had done that.
Now, Hero.
Yes, Hero.
You say that all the songs are pretty much based on your life to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
How does Hero fit?
So Hero is so personal to me that we don't even play it live because I can't really make it through the song without crying.
Yeah.
So it's extremely personal to me. So I have Lyme disease. I have been sick with that since I was about 12 years old. And I mean, some points in my life have been really, really bad because of it, where I couldn't use my legs. I was blind and deaf on my right side. I vomiting all the time. It's just been a terrible disease that I've been afflicted with since I was a child. And at my worst, I about 10 years ago, I didn't even know who my mother was. Like I was every other day. It was like I had Alzheimer's, which they misdiagnosed me with.
Yeah.
So my memory would come and go, but I felt like such a burden on everyone because I just felt like I wasn't functioning, and my mom was having to like come down and try to take me to doctor's appointments, and she was driving me 10 hours one way sometimes just to see a doctor up north because no one treats Lyme disease here.
Yeah.
And so I felt like such a burden on her. And that song I wrote in the depths of despair, where I just felt like I was going to be like that forever and that I needed to push her away and everyone else. So that song's for my mom. Because she was trying to save me, and I didn't want to answer my phone. I just wanted to shut myself away. And I literally just felt like crawling in a hole. And this is the first time I've talked about this on an interview. I really steer away from it because it's that personal to me, but I was in that kind of despair.
Yeah.
And so this song is, it's crazy. That's a one take vocal on that song. I wasn't even going to put it on the album because I just really wrote it for me. And it was just a hard time. There's a line in it that says, I can feel the crazy. It's coming for me. And that's how it feels. I mean, it felt like I was losing my mind because the bacteria had gotten into my brain. And I don't know if you know much about Lyme disease, but once it becomes a chronic thing, it's pretty painful for people, and it can feel like you're losing your mind.
Yeah.
Because you are. So yeah, this song is for my mom because she was trying to save me, like literally, and she did. But she just would not give up. And so yeah, it was a really tough time in my life. And since then, I went through 5 ports, IV therapy for 6 to 9 months at a time. I've played many shows with a port in my arm or a port in my chest. This disease has wreaked havoc on my life. So when I see like stars like Shania Twain has had it, Avril Lavigne, Chris Christopherson, like a lot of people have been afflicted with it, but there's just not a lot of coverage for it. But it's a terrible thing. But that's what Hero is about. Me pushing everyone away in my life at the time.
Wow. At first, when I first listened to it, there was something that was quite gravitational towards it. It just reminds me of the stereotypical like hero movie where the world is like crumbling around them, but then there's always that one person that just saves the day. And to hear that story, I'm really trying not to cry. Oh my.
Oh, I know. I've got tears in my eyes right now because I know, like, even now, like, I haven't been feeling great lately. And my mother, God bless her, she knows when I'm starting to feel sick again because I'll like start becoming a hermit and like push everyone away because I don't want to be a burden on anybody. And so, and Lyme disease will do that. It'll isolate you. You'll just like want to shut down. And so I think of that song and her, but the lines in there, open up your arms. You say you can catch me. You say you can save me. but we both know you can't be my hero. I mean, that was from my perspective,
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt like in the words, I'm already gone. Like mentally, I felt like I was just gone. I mean, I didn't know who I was some days. And, but to be able to battle back from that and know that it was her that really made sure that happened. Like she just will not give up. She's relentless. So, so that's one for her. Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, it's always great to have that rock, that you can rely on, and for it to be your mother. That's like the sweetest sentiment anybody could ever.
Yeah. And I had a really rough childhood growing up. My parents divorced when I was 2, and I wouldn't say my mom and my relationship was always wonderful. It was just really rocky in my childhood. But I got to tell you, when I got to be an adult and understood things more, and she really came in a part of my life when I really needed someone and didn't know it, and she's been that person with my health for the last 10 years. It's just, she's like, honey, you got to stay on it, and because I'll focus on music and work and everything else and really try to push it to the side because I don't want to face it. But then it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, it's time to go back, get my port put in, go through the meds again. It's just something I have to beat back constantly. So, but yeah, thank you for bringing that song up. I haven't put it out as a single and don't talk about it much, but it's really powerful. People that hear it, I will take that back. We did play it live one time at our album release party, and you could hear a pin drop. People came up crying, and they were just like, wow, that song. And I'm just like, yeah, it's a powerful one. And, we just got a song in a film this past year. So I think Hero might be one of those songs that eventually goes to a film.
Yeah, it's the perfect fit. I mean, it's so interrelatable that you can just picture yourself. I mean, that's the main thing with music, and it's to create that blank canvas so people can put their own emotions onto that song and tie in with how they feel with that song. Right. And to me, I could put the positives into that, and then I could put the negatives, and there was just something that was just so, like I say, gravitational. It just, every time it kept cycling through the playlist, it was almost like rewind. Let's listen to that one again. Let's listen to that one again.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's a very simple track. It's just like I said, one vocal, one piano throughout, and then just added a couple layers. But when the violin got added to it, I was like, oh my gosh, it just was heart wrenching. But thank you so much. That means a lot to me that you actually listened to it and got that. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, not just for being able to write such a beautiful song. I appreciate you for being able to talk about it as well, because it must be so difficult. It must be daunting almost.
Yeah, it can be. Like I said, if you've listened to the album, but 25 to Life is another one of those songs. And so that's another one that my band loves. That's their favorite song. Everyone's like, this is my favorite song, to play. But I have such a hard time playing it because that song's for my brother. And it's, it tells another story in my life of his drug addiction and how that took him away from me. And, so it's just like some of these songs are so personal to me, but I feel like that's what really connects you to people. And so you kind of have to bare your soul if you're going to find that audience that will connect with you back. So, so songs like that they're real personal and, mean a lot to me. Sorry, I got a little choked up. But you really got to me. I'm proud of you.
That's 25 to Life was going to be like my next set of questions. Like, I'm speechless. It's very rare that I actually get speechless, but I'm choked. I feel it really brings out. I'm starting to blubber. Oh my. Okay, I want to go on from this now and to talk about your band before we actually get into the nitty-gritty with Keep On Keepin On.
Yeah, so my band is amazing. They're also my rocks. I have 2 basic band members that have been with me for a long time. Chris Mckenney, he's the longest standing band member. He has been with me since the beginning. He's my drummer.
Yeah.
Just amazing person. I can't, there's just not words to describe him. We have similar humor. We both are dorks. We love Star Wars. We love, just comic books, and, we have so many similarities. So yeah, he's my drummer, and he's amazing. Played all the drums on Heartbreak. He's toured around the country with me. I mean, I have drug him across this country I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
So I love him to death. And then Brandon Lambert is my bass player, also plays guitar for us. He is basically my handler. I call him my handler. He's awesome. So those are my guys. They're my full-time band members. And then everybody else, players are coming from Nashville. Our fiddle player, Kat McDonald, she graduated from Berkeley and now is at Belmont. She lives in Nashville. She's getting her master's in commercial violin. She is insane. Not crazy, but like insanely good.
Yeah.
She plays piano, bass, mandolin, fiddle. She's just insanely. I can't even say enough. Like I got to play with her last week. We flew her in from Nashville to play on a live stream last week, which is up on our page. I think it's pinned to the top now, but you'll see how amazing she is. Incredible. Now, Elena Gentry was the fiddle player that was on our SW20 live stream.
Yeah.
Also a redhead. This is about redheaded fiddle players, but Elena is Russian and classically trained violinist. She's the one playing on the album. So in Heartbreak Queen, that's who you're hearing on that album. And she has since left the band. She got married and left amicably. Yeah, she's amazing. I think she's just ready to move on to something else. So we're very happy for her. But yeah, super talented violinist. She also plays mandolin as well and piano. So I feel like I've gotten to work with some really talented people, and I'm so grateful for the ones that have come in and out of the band and lended their, talent to our record and to our live shows.
I mean, it says something when your violinist is graduated from Berkeley and then going to Belmont, like the most prestigious schools for music that in particular country artists as well now go to. You hear about all these big artists that went to study at Belmont. It says something. It says the level of caliber that you've got with your band.
Right, exactly. I feel like oh my gosh, just wait for this record, because some of the players coming in are insane. Johnny Fung is in Nashville, and he's coming in to play. He just played on Gabby Barrett's I Hope.
Yeah.
He played and programmed the banjo. He just played on a Jimmy Allen and Nelly track, which is insane. So the fact that he's coming from Nashville to play on my record, I'm blown away.
It says something about the caliber of your work as well, because these big stars, I Hope by Gabby Barrett, it's one of those top songs of the year in the American country charts. And
absolutely. And these players coming out, it just blows my mind. Our bass player coming in from Nashville, I think he's playing with Craig Morgan now. I can't believe they want to come play on my record, and I'm just amazed by it. And I think this next album, a sophomore album, I feel like is always hard, but I think this one's going to be incredible. So, and my manager, Eddie Z, just signed with us, and he's a voting member of the Grammys. He's incredible. So the fact that he wants to work with me too, I don't know. I'm humbled by all of this. Sometimes I wake up and I'm just like, whoa, what just happened? So, and it didn't happen just overnight. It took a lot of hard work, but sometimes I just can't believe that I get to do these things,
Yeah, that must be the most strangest, like you say, it's like a pinch yourself, am I dreaming kind of moment when all these big names and these managers and everybody just starts coming to you saying, we want to be a part of you. We want to work with you.
Yeah, it's been a lot of sleepless nights. I think people don't see what goes on behind the scenes with a band. If they see someone that's made it, like Eric Church, who grew up right up the road from me, who is a massive star now, and I don't think they see all the work that goes into the behind the scenes part. We're constantly working. constantly. Like if I'm out working my day job hard just so I can pay for a record because I don't want to use label money to do it. I don't want anyone else to own my masters,
Yeah.
And so I kill myself at work so that I can put money into the band. And it's not by luck, luck is great, but that's where hard work meets opportunity,
Yeah.
And so hard work is everything. That's what I tell other artists. People will be like, how are you playing these big festivals? How are you opening for so-and-so? I'm like, I worked my day job hard. That's how I got there.
Exactly.
I went to work and I put money in my band, and it's not because I'm buying something. I'm not buying anything. Like I literally worked hard and marketed, so it's, I don't know. It's just, it's a process. No matter how you get there, it takes a lot of hard work. So I commend anyone that's made anything in the music industry.
I totally get that. I mean, one phrase that my father used to teach me all the time as a kid was you get out what you put in. You put in a great deal, you get out a great deal. All the hard work's paying off for you.
I feel like it's starting to. Yeah, we had a really great tour schedule this summer until COVID came along, and I was really proud of it. And I was actually going to see Profit finally in this band with high paying gigs, and then that happened. And I just had to keep my chin up and say, everything's rescheduled for next year, so we're going to be out there doing it next year. But it's it was a kick in the gut, as it is for most artists. So I'm just trying to stay positive like the rest of the musicians out there. So we're going to focus all our energy on releasing music until we can get back out and play.
Awesome. So I'm going to put all this on hold now and actually talk about the main reason why we're here. So you're bringing out a single, Keep On Keepin On.
Yes. So Keep On Keepin On. Crazy how this came to be. The same radio station I was talking about in New Zealand earlier.
Yeah.
Somehow I got introduced to this guy named Gare Miranda, who is in a big heavy metal band over there. He actually lives in Norway, but has toured all over the world, in the European regions and over in Australia and New Zealand. And anyway, got introduced to him, and then we just started chatting, and he was like, we love your music. Like he started listening to it. And he's like, I've got a song I'd love to send you and see what you do with it. And I was like, okay, cool. And I've never recorded anything other than Devil Went Down to Georgia, but otherwise everything else I've written.
Yeah.
So this is my first time taking someone else's song and morphing it into my own sound. So my bassist guitarist Brandon and I sat down and I told him kind of what I was looking for, and he started playing this guitar riff, and then my drummer added the toms and the beat to it that I love. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm a big Toms fan. I love the tribal feeling.
Yep.
And then I love the swamp rock, as I like to call it. But that I like I don't know if you ever listen to like Godsmack or some of these rock bands. Yeah, so I love that like voodoo feel, So so I'm really into that. So that's kind of what I lended towards this song, and so we're excited for the track to come out. It's totally different. It's written from his perspective, so it's a man writing this song. So, but I sang it the same way he wrote it. So I'm singing,
as a man.
About a woman. It's intriguing in its own. So I'm sure people are going to have questions about that, but that's great. It's publicity, whatever. So. But it's different. It's more rock than country, of course. Really swampy, singing about meeting the devil, basically. So it's pretty cool. And I'm excited about it. I think it's got a neat vibe overall. But it's very different from the track he sent me, but he ended up loving it, and I'm really excited about that. And I think it's going to be used on a TV show in Norway. So we'll see where it goes.
Oh, brilliant! What TV show is that?
It's the what is they're I had to think about how they say it. Sorry, because I can't read the writing because it's written in their language.
Yeah.
But it's basically their Norwegian redneck show, which is apparently like really big over there in Scandinavia.
I'll have to try and find it.
I've been watching some of the episodes. It is hilarious. Oh my gosh, because I didn't even know there were rednecks in other parts of the world.
No, it's
pretty cool. So I'm like, okay, this is awesome.
I mean, I find it fascinating that you mentioned the whole, finding a woman aspect to the song. Now, Little Big Town had that big issue with Girl Crush, not so long back. It's publicity for you. It's brilliant.
Oh yeah, my manager, because he asked me about it when he first heard it, and he was like, what people are going to think, and I'm like, yeah, but I think nowadays, like, whatever, and that wasn't the point of the song. There's actually you've heard it, so it wasn't the point of the song. It was more about being tempted by the devil, but yeah, it's publicity, like I said, and it's if it sparks whatever in anyone's mind, that's fine too.
Well, so. that's it. That's perfect, because that's what songs should do. It should spark that creative imagination in people's minds, and to be able to paint a picture. If people want to paint a picture of completely one scenario, and it's leave them to it. It's end of the day, it's your music. That's what it's there for.
Right. Absolutely. It's so cool that you got that, though. Yeah, so I'm excited for tomorrow. It comes out. Everybody's loving the graphic from it, and I think it's gonna do good.
Where was that picture taken?
That picture was taken in a field, actually in North Carolina. I had to stand in this brush that was like chest high. Travis Trout took that photo. He's a photographer out of Seattle, actually. He flew to North Carolina just to photograph me, and we went out in this field. It was full of briars, and that photo was taken out there. So it was pretty cool.
I mean, the whole vibe to it, I almost got like a Game of Thronesy kind of vibe. It should be like a dragon behind you. It's.
I know, right? We should do that next time. I'm into that. And I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan, just so you know. I told you I'm a total dork. Like, I love that stuff. So I've watched Game of Thrones through, 3 times now. Like, I love it.
You see, I started to watch it, but the issue was I actually started to watch it with my younger sister, and I didn't realize how bad it actually was at one point. And then,
yeah, you can't do that with your sister.
Yeah, as soon as I don't want to say it out loud, but as soon as stuff started happening on TV, I just got up and left. I couldn't.
Yeah, no, that you have to either watch that by yourself or with your significant other.
Yeah, I've still yet to watch the majority of it. I mean, I was so hooked to begin with, but then it was like, okay, so I'm now going to go. I've got things to do. Bye.
Absolutely. No, I understand that completely. My mom was trying to watch it when I was staying over there one night, and I was like, I'm going to go in the other room because this is just weird.
That's always the issue with like sex on TV and families. It's just so, there's some things you like to just keep separate. Right. Yeah. I was going to go watch 50 Shades of Grey with my mom, and then I was like, no. Have you read the books?
Yes. I was like, this is not a good idea. I might vomit. Just watching that in a theater with anybody next to you is weird to me.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thought I had. I mean, fair enough if there's like spaces between everybody, where you just got your own, you can watch the film, but to be sat with a complete stranger, I mean, not that you should be doing anything in the cinema anyhow.
Right. Oh my God. This is the best podcast ever.
See, that's what this is about. It's about the spontaneity and where the conversation goes.
Absolutely. It's much more interesting when it's not scripted.
I mean, literally, I don't come into a podcast scripted at all. For any show, it is, I make sure I've got knowledgeable in the music, because that is what we're here for mainly. But other than that, no holds barred.
Yeah, you've been amazing. Like, the fact that you knew my music makes me so happy.
That's the main thing. I just want to go into the actual storyline to Keep On Keepin On. I love how you get it to flow. I mean, I know that Gear wrote the lyrics and you've portrayed the lyrics. I just love how you've carried it through the different levels, through the different tones, through the different key changes from, between the verse, pre-chorus and chorus. It's just all goes so smoothly.
Yeah, it's a good track. I think it's catchy. I think Keep On Keepin On is a good thing to be coming out with right now, regardless of, there's a few different storylines in there that kind of, all relate to the same thing. It's all about desire, basically. But but no matter what happens, you just got to keep on keeping on. And I think it's so important right now. It's such a simple message, but a really good track title to be coming out with at this time, especially in the world.
Yeah, that's the exact thought that I had when I was, when I first got the track front page and I was writing reviews. It was like, this is actually really, really fits our current situation at the moment.
Absolutely. I love the line, looking for salvation at the gates of hell. I felt like that was a really cool line. And I was just like, you know what? Sometimes I feel like that. Like maybe we're looking in the wrong place sometimes for something, but.
And then you follow it up with meeting a woman.
Right. Exactly. I mean, it starts out with met a witchy woman, basically. And it's just, and it's supposed to be about you're trying to do something, but you get off course, basically.
Yeah.
But no matter what, you just have to keep on keeping on. That's basically it. That we're going through life and we get distracted, right? By desires, temptations, all sorts of things. When we're setting out to do something great, there are going to be all sorts of things along the way to distract us. And whether you call that the devil or whatever it is, it's there and it happens. It's your human nature. But no matter what, you just got to keep on keeping on.
That's how we should live our lives. You just, no matter what you go through adversity, as you very well know.
Absolutely.
No matter what, you just keep pushing through. There will be light at the end of the tunnel. There always is, no matter how dark it ever seems.
Absolutely. I believe that to my core after everything I've been through. I just had thyroid cancer this year and went through that too. And that was terrible in itself and was in a car accident. And like so many things have happened this year. And so when I got the chance to record this song, I was just like, this is so perfect for me right now, because I was really getting to where I was like, oh my gosh, with COVID and everything, I mean, you kind of want to give up some days. It's like, man, it just beats you down. And then I'm like, nope, not doing it. We've come too far. Like, I'll be damned. Like, it's not happening. I will pick myself up and we are going to go on and we're going to play and we're going to be great. I've been in a boot for 3 months now on my leg and my foot because all my ligaments are torn in my left foot. And my doctor's like, how are you going to perform in that? And I'm like, I'll put jewels all over. I'll bedazzle my boot, whatever I got to do.
Well, what's his name from the Foo Fighters? He had his he literally just sat on a chair with his foot up on the stage and just played his music.
Yes, you got to do what you got to do. Like, and so when this song was sent to me, and the original version was great. I mean, the music was great. It was a cool song. So I was like, wow, you're letting me change this? Because it was really neat. And, he even gave me a little writing credit on it, which was awesome because I did change a few words and a couple of things. But yeah, it was really great timing. So I'm really excited to put it out because everything else has been written by me or is written by me. And so I'm excited to do someone else's song and try to create something of my own with those words. So I'm glad you like it. Thank you so much.
I mean, one storyline that the vibe that I get from Keep On Keeping On is someone's almost got to the end of their life prematurely and they've gone to hell and they've almost been given a second chance. But instead of trying to be as good as possible, it's a case of just live your life, just go out there and just, you could die at any moment. So just enjoy it.
Exactly. It was so funny. I was talking to someone earlier about this is like with this whole coronavirus thing, being locked down and everything. I mean, the mental or the effect on your mental capacity that has and how it doesn't even feel like living if you can't get out and live, Yeah. So if we stay this way forever, I mean, it's just like, so many people are like, what's the point? I want to go on with life. And I feel like this song is like that too. Like, it's just like, get out and live like it's your last day, basically. And I want to do more of that because I feel like sometimes we can get caught up in fear and, not living our lives to the fullest. And that's what happened with this band. I didn't start this band until about 3 years ago. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to wake up when I'm 80 and say I didn't do it. I don't want I don't want to be afraid. I was afraid to do it. I was like, what if people don't like me? I was worried about that. And now I don't care. Like, if you don't like me, whatever. And it really took me getting to that point. And I would tell anyone that, like, stop caring what everyone else thinks and do what you love. And if it makes you happy, as long as you're not hurting anyone else, by God, go do it, Too
right. I've got to give you a round of applause for that. That is it. That's life in a nutshell. Who cares?
Right.
What would you rather have? Regrets of not doing something or regret doing something, but at least you've done it.
Right, exactly. And, because I know some of my friends are like, she must be nuts. I'm sure people think that, but I'm like, I don't care. I love being on stage, and I love interacting with people that listen to my music, and I want to inspire people, and this is the way I want to do it. So I'm like, I'm just going to go do it. And if you don't like it, that's okay. But a lot of people do, so it's working out.
Yeah. I mean, you've been through I've been trying to keep track of everything that's happened in this, especially this past year. Wow.
Oh, this year's been a downer, I tell you. But I mean, it's so funny. We could go on for hours, and I know this needs to end soon. But my son was a pound when he was born, had a trach until he was 10 years old, and has been through so many surgeries. So that's a whole other part of my life that's just been like crazy, and why I waited a while to play music, because I was so focused on his health. And all the things we've been through, and how many times I thought I was going to lose him. And being a special needs parent is a whole other thing. So a whole other chapter of my life. It's just been a crazy life, which is where all these songs come from. It's just like, you know what? I'm just going to write about it. And out came that album, and album number 2, which I'm narrowing songs down for. And then hopefully album number 3 in a couple years. So,
and that's just from this year's alone.
Yeah, exactly. So just going to keep on keeping on, make some music and enjoy my life. And then I'll settle down one day. We'll see.
It's lovely. I mean, to be able to just, like you say, keep on keeping on, even through all that crap. It's, it's, wow. My heart really goes off to you. I suffer with depression and anxiety, and there's times where I just don't want to move. And then when you talk about what you've been through, it puts everything into perspective. It really, really does.
Well, depression is such a terrible thing, and so many people don't understand it. And I honestly didn't until Lyme disease really got me to that place. And it's one of those things that I didn't understand I was even going through, because I was so sick and in so much pain, and I was so depressed, and like trying to fight through that. It's terrible. And anxiety is just awful as well. And my youngest sister suffers from just terrible anxiety. And it's a difficult thing, and hats off to you, because that's not something that's easy to deal with. But yeah, you don't want to move. Like, I know what that feels like. There are days when I'm just like, gosh, I want to hide from the world, you know? And then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, no, like, make yourself get up. And music does that for me. It drives me right now. I mean, every day I get up because I'm in so much pain with this foot, and like the thyroid cancer surgery, and like, my Lyme disease in general. It's just been a lot. But every morning I get up at 4 a.m. and I just say to myself, I'm like, album. Like, you gotta go get it. And like, I tell my manager, he's like, I don't know how you do it. And I'm like, I am going to get it. I'll be darned. Like, I am getting up. I'm going out today, and I'm going to bust my butt all day long. And I'm going to, make something of myself with this music thing. So yeah, I don't know. It's just, you got to find something to focus on, and it's so hard to do. But I commend you, because this podcasting is really awesome. And you're a great writer.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, the review is awesome. I really appreciate that.
That's really, really kind. I mean, I don't get paid at all for any of this. So if there's anybody out there that does want to sponsor, hi. But yeah, I do this because I love the genre. I love the music. I love actually speaking to people like yourself and listen about your lives, because to me, that is what shapes the music. You know, it shapes how a person wants to sing or how a person wants to write music. And to me, I find the story of someone's life fascinating. Yeah, wow. Thank you.
Well, no, thank you. I appreciate it. And I think it's amazing that you do this. It's really awesome. And it gives us a good outlet too, and people to talk to about our music. So I know I'm not the only one that appreciates that.
Now, to finish off, I want to talk about two topics. I want to talk about you coming to the UK, hopefully soon. And the second one is about your dog.
Pixie. Yes. So coming to the UK.
Please come soon.
So we are trying to figure that out. A lot of promoters have seen our live stream, which is just a tidbit of what you get live. I mean, we are insane on stage.
I can picture it.
Yeah, it's pretty stellar. We rock pretty hard for a country group, and especially for girls. Yeah, it's a pretty cool show. I believe in going to see a band, not just hear a band. So I don't focus more on putting on the band. That includes a lot of running around, and my fiddle player usually runs through the crowd, and like we're just a little crazy. So yeah, some people don't forget. So that's why we get a lot of the bigger shows and stuff. So yeah, we are actively trying to figure that out because we know our music is starting to do a lot over there and people are wanting us to come. So, so trying to maybe line up some festivals for next year to where it makes sense for us to come over there, Yeah.
I mean, we've got so many festivals over here now. It's unbelievable. We've got the Long Road Festival in Country and Dixie Fields. It's just, I'm going to upset people by not mentioning the festivals now, but there's just so many. It's brilliant, and you definitely need to get yourself on at least all of them. Yeah,
well, don't worry. I'm about to tap you for that list. So, but yeah, we definitely want to get over there and meet some of the UK country artists as well that we see on the charts and listen to their music. Danny McMahon and some other people that we see charting over there. Kelsey Bovey, some of those. And we want to meet you guys. So, I want to meet Carl Kendrick and definitely want to get to see you and stuff. So we'd like to plan a good month where we're over there touring and meeting people.
Well, as soon as you've got a date sorted, I'll make sure all my calendar's completely free, which is very rare. So I'll make sure it's empty for you, and then we'll all meet up.
That would be wonderful. I would love that. And then Pixie, I am going to shoot you pictures of Pixie when we're done.
I can't wait.
Oh my gosh, she's adorable, and she sleeps at our feet every night. She's like, oh, she's so cute, and she's so cute with my little girl. She's just the best dog. Yeah, she's very protective, even though she's teensy weensy, but she thinks she's a Doberman.
Yeah. What breed? Yeah. What breed? Because we talked about this just before we actually started recording, so everyone out there won't know.
Oh, that's right. Pixie is a Shih Poo. She's a Shih Tzu poodle, and so she's little white, little fluffy dog. Yeah, she's super cute.
Now, I just want to go back a couple of steps. You talked about Carl Kendrick. Now, you actually got an award for the SW20 Spring Festival.
We did. We won Best Overall Performance, which I was like blown away because there were 42 acts on there. I was watching the people. That's great. I didn't even know there was a category for Best Overall Performance. I had no idea. And then when he started talking about it, and I was like, wait, is he talking about us? And then I started reading the comments, and people were already saying, must be Diamonds and Whiskey, must be Diamonds. And I was just like, oh my gosh, people loved it. But it was the most watched live stream of the festival, and we're so grateful to them. Really awesome.
I mean, I know it's a bit easier for you over in the States to be able to put like the band together. I know with social distancing and stuff like that, but the amount it was actually really difficult because we all live a long ways from each other. Really?
It took a lot of planning. That cost a lot of money to produce that with the different camera angles and the production team. It was actually it took me about 3 weeks to plan all of that and get everyone together. It was crazy.
And that there is why you've won the award, because of the amount of dedication that you've put into creating a stream. It's an event. Perfect.
Well, I feel like people aren't getting to watch live music. So people try to get on and live stream, but they're stuck doing a lot of acoustic stuff, which is understandable because that's all they can do. So when my manager was like, let's do this big, I was like, okay, let's do it. So I wanted to give something different that people would be like, holy cow, wow, they really went all out,
Yeah.
So it worked out.
I mean, you could really picture yourself being in a crowd, standing in front of the stage. I know we were just watching it on our iPhones and our phones and tablets and laptops, but you could really just picture yourself being in front of there. And the band themselves live, I can't wait till you come to the UK. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a bit excited.
Yeah, it's to come over there. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited to show what we can do because we really try to give you everything we've got.
Okay, so we're towards the end of the podcast now. So normally what I do is I ask a couple of questions, but because you're based in America, you're American, so you kind of won't understand some of the things I'll be talking about. But first, before I start actually talking about that, shall we get your socials out there?
Yeah, so we're Diamonds and Whiskey on Facebook, Diamonds and Whiskey Official on Instagram, and Diamonds Whiskey on Twitter. And we just started a TikTok. Woo-woo.
A TikTok?
And it's diamondsandwhiskeyBand.com. Yes. Yeah, I just started it. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Just as it's about to be closed down.
I know, as we're about to be banned from it, but I understand why.
So the questions I like to ask is, we have a cookie here, we call them biscuits, called a Jaffa cake. And it's like a sponge mixed with it's got a layer of like a orange jelly on the top, and then it's covered in chocolate. Now, the question that I always ask is it a cake or is it a biscuit? Because it's called a Jaffa cake, but it looks like a biscuit. But you obviously, I don't think you won't understand what that is or what I'm actually referring to.
No, I don't, but it definitely sounds more like a cake.
What I'll do is I'll arrange to have some sent over so you can give us a sample, unless you're on a diet or any allergens.
Oh, I'll definitely try the biscuit / cake for sure. It sounds wonderful.
We'll have to get a live stream of your unboxing and trying.
Yes, next time we'll do this with video, so that would be awesome.
So the next question I ask is, pineapple on pizza, is it a yay or a nay for you?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
There we go. See?
Yes, the Hawaiian. Yes, of course. Pineapple and ham. Oh, doesn't
beautiful.
get any better.
Okay, so we now talk about like a night out. So what kind of drinks do you like to drink when you go on a night out? If you go on a night out, that is.
Oh gosh, yes. Okay, every once in a while I might get time to have a drink. So my favorite thing to drink is sangria. I love sangria, especially with a red wine.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a pretty traditional like beer drinker. Like I love Corona.
Oh, typical.
Yeah, I'm a Corona and lime girl. But yeah, and then I also love a Merlot, so I like to drink Merlot as well. And
straight red wine.
Yes, I do. I favorite red wine. I used to not. I used to be a Riesling girl, but then I went to a Malbec and then into a Merlot recently. And yes, I like wine. I love a good beer too, though. But I don't get into the craft beers. They're a little heavy for me. So I like the Bud Lights, Miller Lights, but Corona happens to be my favorite go-to beer.
I mean, I can't lie. I've got to say, especially on a warm summer's day here in the UK, a Corona with lime is beautiful.
Exactly. When it's hot out, it's hard to beat a cold Corona. So when I'm out by the pool, I want a Corona. When we're grilling, with a lime, it's spectacular.
Whereabouts do you like to go when you go out for a drink? Do you like to go to bars, or do you like to go to clubs or pubs if you've got them?
So yeah, my clubbing days are over, but I enjoy I never was much of a clubber, But yeah, there's a couple of spots. So I'm habitual. I like the same places. So there's a place in town called Partners in Wine, and that's like my favorite place to go have a glass of wine or a beer. And it's so funny because people in there know me, so I'll even end up usually singing a song when I'm in there or doing something. But that's my favorite place. But it's just a chill little wine bar. And that's more my speed. I like the small little places where everybody knows everybody, and it's a lot of fun that way.
See, that's what it should be about, is finding where you're most happiest. I mean, some people like to just venture out, but I've always been like a home bird kind of thing. You find a place and you nest down, and this is where I'm going to go drink, and I'm happy here. It's playing the music.
Right. That's me. Wherever I'm comfortable, I have to get comfortable somewhere. I'm not a social butterfly. People think I am because of the way I am on stage, but I'm actually not. Like, I'm a homebody. And when I find a place that I like, I pretty much go to that place, and that's it.
Yeah. Do you find yourself much of a introvert then?
Yeah, I would say so. I don't talk to many people. I'm very busy with my career and with the band, and I've got a close tight knit kind of group of friends that are my band and my manager and my family. And that's it. Like, I don't venture out of that much. And then when I get to shows, I'm like a different person. I jump on stage and I'm in your face, and then I want to talk to everybody, but afterwards I'm exhausted. Like, it wears me out. Like, I can barely walk when I get off a stage because I leave it all out there. Like, you get that monster that gets up there. And then when I'm at home, I'm not like that at all. It's so funny. She's my alter ego. She wears crazy makeup and stiletto heels on stage. And then afterwards, I don't even know who I am. I'm like, oh my God, I got to go to bed.
That must be so exhilarating for you to be able to just let everything out, on the stage, have that as almost like a pillar that people scream into when they're really angry, but you get to go on stage.
Oh my God, that's exactly how I feel. Like, exactly. Because if you watched our show, like, I mean, I start the show, almost yelling into the mic. I'm like, we are Diamonds and Whiskey. We're from Charlotte, North Carolina. We're happy to be here with you fine folks today. Like, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I am this monster for the next hour. I mean, just like, it's crazy. And then I get off stage and I'm like, whoo. Like I feel like I just basically did aerobics for a whole day because I jumped up and down. I ran around. I, sang at the top of my lungs. Like, I give you everything I got when I'm out there. And then I need to sleep for 3 days after because I'm exhausted from it. But I get such an adrenaline rush that I don't feel any pain. It's the only time I don't feel pain is when I'm on stage. Like, the pain stops, like, from my Lyme disease. I have horrible arthritis. And but when I get on stage, I don't feel anything but happiness. And so I live for those moments. People are like, why do you do it if it makes you so sick? I'm like, God, if you knew how I felt when I'm up there. Like, it's a passion for sure.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
How did you break your foot? Was it on stage?
No. Although I have tripped a few times because I'm like crazy, but I was in a car accident.
Yeah. What happened with the car accident?
There were these 2 guys towing a car in the road illegally, like with a chain from one car to the next.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nighttime and they didn't have any lights on, so I couldn't see them. And so I hit them, and they were barely moving, and I was going about 55 miles an hour. And so it was pretty fast, and tore the front end off my car. So the impact pushed into my foot and tore all the ligaments in my foot. So the bones are like shifted to the right in my left foot. And so it's a mess, but yeah, that's what happened. I'm just happy to be alive. Grateful for that.
That could have gone horribly, horribly, horribly wrong. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it could have been really bad. And it was, but it's manageable and life goes on. Keep on keeping on.
Well, that's it. Keep on keeping on. It's what it's about. It's the whole mantra.
Yes, exactly. So I'm just going to keep driving it in people's heads so they go spend it tomorrow.
Okay, so thank you for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having me. This has seriously been the best thing. I love it. Thank you so much.
I'm glad you've enjoyed it. We've touched some really very emotional topics, but then very light-hearted topics. I mean, I didn't ever think we'd start talking about sex in the theatre at the start of this.
I know. Somehow we got on that. Yeah, that's awesome, though. Something I also haven't talked about. So there's a lot of firsts in this podcast. So this might be interesting for people.
So as a final reminder, where can people get Keep On Keepin On?
So it is coming out, I think, tonight at midnight on Spotify and Amazon, iTunes, YouTube, and pretty much anywhere you find music or listen to it, it's going to be there. So I think there's 70 different outlets that it's on, so you can't miss it if you look for it.
Midnight tonight, is that everywhere as soon as they hit midnight, so we'll get it before you do?
You should, as far as I know. If not, it'll be 5 a.m. your time.
I've missed. It cut out a bit there.
Okay, yeah. So it might be midnight Eastern, so it might be morning time for you guys.
Okay. Yeah, because we're 5 hours in front of you now. I'm talking to you at 20 past 9 now, and you should be 20 past 4.
Yes, it's 4:20, yes.
Look at that. I mean, my times are just so impeccable.
I know, you're so smart.
Oh, I know. Good old Google. Oh, I shouldn't have said that out loud. Thank you. Thank you for coming on. It's been absolute fun talking to you.
Thanks for having me. I hope you have a wonderful night.
And you too. Hopefully, sooner rather than later, you'll be here and we can actually go for a Corona and Lyme.
That sounds wonderful. I can't wait.
Thank you, everybody, for listening, and I shall see you all next time. Bye for now.
That was the Country Chat Podcast. Join Dom next time for exclusive interviews, reviews, and general chit-chat on all things country music.